Okay, folks, I've told you when it comes to the midterms that are coming up, don't vote your mail in ballot. Do not even open it. Go into the precinct and vote only on election day. I'm sure you got plenty of friends that can help you out and can get you there. Your employers, right? Your employers have to let you off for this. Now, show up. And if you get told when you check in, I'm sorry, Miss So and so, but we mailed you a ballot and it has been returned and it was voted. Do not raise a stink. Just say, could you repeat that again? Get them to repeat it. And they'll say, I'm sorry, Miss So and so. It shows that we mailed you mail in ballot and you have already voted. They'll hand you what's called a provisional ballot. It's supposed to mean it with the provision we can verify you're real, we will let it count. They don't do that, right? They don't do that. Because it says you've already voted. They're going to think you're voting twice. Step away with your provisional, step away with your mail-in ballot, or you might have multiple ones, and immediately call your sheriff, not your police. Immediately call your sheriff. And what you do is you report to the sheriff, I want to report identity theft, not voter fraud, not any of it. I want to report identity theft. I'm here. I saw it happen right in front of me. I've confirmed it. And hey, I want to report identity theft. They have to send a deputy out to take your statement. When the deputy takes your statement, they're going to ask that same person that told you the same thing. So they're going to go to that person and say, okay, what's the story here? And they're going to say, well, she's already voted. We mailed her ballot. It came back. She already voted. At that moment in time, when that person has repeated it and the sheriff's got the story, only at that time pull out your mail ballot and say, this is who I am, because he's going to ask you for your ID. This is who I am. Here is my mail-in ballot right here in my hot little hand, and you can see it's not opened. And here's my provisional. This is me. You gave me a provisional. Somebody stole my ID. And that's the only way you can prove it. But now what you've done is you've got an official report. Okay. You got an official report of this happening. You now have a case because you have a sheriff that can see your envelope. It'll be part of a case file and say, this is the ballot. This is the person. It's not open. Here it is. That's what you need. Your police cannot help you in this. This is not in their jurisdiction. It's a sheriff jurisdiction, and the sheriffs have the right to enforce this. If for any reason they ask for your vote or let you vote with a real ballot, not a provisional, they're going to want that mail-in ballot back, meaning the voting people, not the police, right? You need witnesses too. But whenever you're going to go to that, if the sheriff takes your mail-in ballot, that's evidence. You want to get that documented. They have to sign for it. They took an unsealed mail-in envelope made to you. It's unsealed. You have to do that. But if you do get to the point that they're just going to let you vote, okay, we made a mistake, you must also then tear that mail-in ballot in half right then and there, because they can still do it. The key is don't open that mail-in ballot. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there saying you gotta overwhelm the system. You gotta go in, you gotta overwhelm. It's not, mail-in ballots are where they do it. That's why they count them so far in advance. That's why they give them 2 weeks of counting and they get to election day. It's election day they're afraid of. That's how it works. Now, when the Arizona primary started, and we'd already educated people this, don't vote your mail-in ballot, go in person, don't open it, use a blueprint, not the Sharpies. Right off the start, by the way, that unmailed ballot's your property, by the way. Right from the start, people started getting told, I'm sorry, but you already voted. And people did this process and called. And it looks like within 90 minutes to 2 hours, those things system-wide stopped happening. Because I think the bad guys got the idea. They got the idea. Now, it can happen many ways. You can be just the person on the computer because they can remember your name. and they know they've peeled you off, and that's what they did. You have to be very, very, very careful. And do not, besides not voting with a Sharpie, do not circle your candidate's name along with the thing. That's an after the fact thing where somebody told you, which is total horse crap. Oh, we can see it later if they changed it. No, you gave them more time to do the rig because it adjudicates your vote. It might not change your vote, but it gives them more time to operate underneath. You got to understand, if they're counting ballots for 2 weeks leading to that November 8th, they already know what's coming and how you're going to vote. It's election day that's the unknown. That is why I'm saying don't vote your mail in ballot, even if you traditionally do it. Get out there, get in their face, and overwhelm them with your presence to do it right. That's why they can't cheat. That's why they couldn't do it. In Arizona, it bucked the system, and you guys in Arizona listened. And even though they tried everything they could do to stretch time, and they counted for another 2 weeks, it was so far gone in the key election, AG, Secretary of State, and governor, they couldn't make up for it. It overwhelmed the system. And you're right. It is so sad. It is so sad they do it. And Charlene said, are the voting machines fixed and legal? No, they're not. That is why you have to vote with a paper ballot in person. And that is why we have to be prepared. And that is why we have to know what's up. And that's why we have to observe, because we now have to be able to challenge these things. We didn't know in 2020. And because we have now done full forensic audits, we know every single way they try to steal your vote. Every way they try to steal your vote. And that is why I try to make you the smartest patriot in the room. Please listen. Please listen. We're all in this together. We can get it done. They're afraid of us. They don't need you to activate. But if you activate and tell these guys to cut the crap, we can win. Okay, I'm done with my radio program. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to bop out of this live feed at the moment. And tonight, I am doing what's called an Ask Me Anything. Okay? AMA. Okay? And Bethany, if you want to hop over, you'll be able to do that. How do you call them out on social media? These are the type of questions I get. I'm doing an Ask Me Anything. A lot of people have questions of how we do this. That's over on Locals. It's where I can take my time with you, pop into Locals, just go. You'll see it there. Okay. But that's where I can answer those questions in high detail that won't get you or me canceled on normal socialist media. And that's what they cancel us for. So when I give you the big nitty gritty, that's where I do it. So right after this, you're going to give me a pee-pee break. I'm going to hop over to Locals, and we're going to talk in detail. Have your questions ready, but we're going to talk in detail of everything you should be prepared for, what to look for, how to detect it, and what you can do to protect you and your family and your vote when it comes to these midterms. I'll see you in a short bit.